Hi everyone. Sorry if the thumbnail was a bit clickbaity. Or was it? So, let's talk about a plugin I've developed called AMP250. This plugin is modeled after the GK250ML or RL, an amp with distinct sound made in 80s. I started developing this about a year ago, out of sheer curiosity, because I wanted to experience the sound of this amp myself. Since these aren't made anymore today, the only option left is to wait for one to pop up for sale. Unless, of course, you have this plugin. This plugin isn't made using AI. Instead, it's based on detailed analysis of the amp's circuitry. Now, I'm not claiming that it's a perfect replica of the GK250, so there could be slight variations. But enough about that, let's dive into the plugin itself. Here's the user interface. As you can see, the controls closely resemble those of the original amplifier, but there are two extra features I want to highlight. First, we have the input gain control, which is crucial when dealing with plugins that include nonlinear systems. If the input gain isn't set correctly, your guitar might sound too weak or overly distorted, altering the amp's intended input gain range. To properly set it, there is a slider that adjusts the input gain from -12 to +12 dB. Above that, you will find a peak level meter. The meter doesn't have a full scale, just two markers. The red mark is set at -6 dBFS, and it serves as a reference point for 0.8 volts peak input signal. Here's the general rule I suggest. If you are strumming hard with humbuckers, your signal should hit the red mark. For single coils, aim for the orange mark, which is at -12 dBFS. While this gives you a good starting point, it's not accurate, as the output voltage of guitars varies depending on pickups, strings, and other factors. For more precise settings, follow the instructions in the plugin's manual. The other additional feature is the speaker emulation checkbox. This feature lets you to plug in and play. But if you would prefer to use your own impulse response, just disable this option and add your IR later in the FX chain. Now, this emulation isn't trying to perfectly recreate the sound of the 6.5-inch pilot speakers found in the ML version. Instead, it's based on my personal interpretation of how the amp sounds. If you want to try the plugin, you can download it for free from the link in the description below. It would be awesome to see some comparisons with the real GK250, so if anyone out there has one and wants to do a side-by-side test, just go for it. Just remember to set the input gain correctly. I would recommend recording the real amp through its stereo output and then running both it and the plugin through the same IR. That said, keep in mind that the response might still differ due to internal trimmer settings, which I didn't include in this plugin. They are set to default. If you need more distortion, you can simply adjust the input gain. If you have any questions, suggestions, or if you find any bugs, feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks for watching and enjoy playing.